Do you know, I'm just really happy to be here. I'm really proud to have been involved in Music Venues Day since we started 5 years ago. We had the first one at the South Bank, and 2 years ago we had it at the Roundhouse. And it just feels like it's really growing, and there's a real, we had a piece on Radio 4 about it this morning. We live in specifically troubled times, I would say, and just this is a really important issue that we need to take through, given the troubled landscape we're looking at in terms of what's going to happen with this country and with Europe and what that means for culture, because I think it's not on everybody's priorities list at the moment. So just to see all of these familiar and friendly faces here as well, who are all facing very similar struggles, I think is just, it feels really good to be in a room full of, we live in a corporatized music business sometimes, it feels like. And to be in a room like this, full of people who are not in it for the money, they're actually in it because they're passionate about music and passionate about the next generation of talent feels really good. I think it's everything we've been discussing for the last 5 years, but do seem to be making some progress on. So the continued issues around residents, around business rates, around... there's something that hasn't been discussed yet here today, but I'm sure it will be later, around, well, I know it's going to be discussed in the next panel around mental health, and that's not just for artists, that's for everybody that works in this slightly crazy industry, with the long hours, the alcohol, the stress, the volume of work. I don't think any of us got into this business because we thought we were going to be working a 40-hour week, so I think that's important. I think there are issues around how we use our spaces and buildings and how we can use them more commercially for longer periods of the day. We all know that big pub chain is going to come and sweep in if they can use a beautiful old piece of architecture from 8 in the morning for their $4.99 breakfast. So we really need to think about how we maximise space. And I think with increased issues around creativity being taken out of the school curriculums, that's where we must start seeing our venues as being potentially the hub where young people learn their creative voices. Well, I often say I have the best job in London, which I stand by. For me, it's about working with young people, and it's about the work that we do in the Roundhouse studios. So we're working with about 6,000 young people at the moment. Not exclusively in music, but across performing arts and broadcast and digital as well. Certainly in the music team, we've been doing a lot of thinking about how we can support young people going into all of the other jobs in the profession, which aren't just simply being the artist on stage. What I often refer to as the 97% of how I don't think it's inherent in this industry and hasn't been historically for us to train the next generation, and I think that's really important. I think even some of the more big corporate organisations are now taking that on as an issue of corporate social responsibility. We need more money. We need more help to sustain this beautiful industry, which is actually economically massively successful for the country. And we need government to recognise that culture has value. Not just financial value, but value for people's mental well-being.